Hello, welcome to the EPI Application LDS Approval Workflow Training. My name is David Brizzi. In this training module, we will be reviewing the following topics: EPI Application Access Prerequisites, basic information about EPI, DOA reassignment, which includes initial DOA reassignment, change contact request, and ad hoc request, and lastly, EPI Help Desk information. EPI is accessible through the CMS portal homepage. Please make sure you are using your EIDM credentials to log into the CMS portal to access EPI. The registration and role request processes are covered in a subsequent training module. Please note that all required fields in EPI are indicated with an asterisk. Also, select any question mark icon throughout the system to display field-specific help. Once you receive the email notifying you that your DOA requester role has been approved, return to the Enterprise Portal login screen and log in again. Enter your user ID, password, MFA device, security code. Select the Agree to our Terms and Conditions checkbox before selecting the Login button. Select the EPI Application tile from the My Portal screen, then select Application beneath the tile. For more information about data use agreements, use the Training Slide Decks link on the EPI homepage. This link will redirect you to the EPI information page on cms.gov. Upon your initial login to the EPI system as a DOA requester, a list of DOAs created by CMS for that requester are displayed. Please note that this table of DOAs will display upon each login until you take ownership of them. Additionally, you will not be able to create, update, extend, or close any DOAs until you take ownership of the listed DOAs in the table. Select the I agree checkbox in the lower left corner of the screen and the accept button in the lower right corner of the screen to take ownership of the listed DOAs. Please note that the DOAs listed can include contractor type DOAs as well. The DOAs now move into the DOA requester's respective queues based on their status. You now have the ability to request a new reuse, update, amend, close, or extend a DOA. Next, we will talk about DOA reassignment. What is DOA reassignment? DOA reassignment is a process that moves existing DOAs to their respective DOA requester. This process can be done in one of three ways. Initial reassignment. Upon the initial login of a new DOA requester, any DOA entered previously by CMS will transfer over to the requester's ownership. Change contact. DOA requesters can request to take ownership or give ownership of a DOA to another DOA requester within their organization. These DOAs could have been created by CMS or another DOA requester. Change contact requests are approved by the LDS DMT. Please note that this process is different than the contact change process that involves updating, adding, and removing custodians as well as requesters on a DOA. Ad hoc request. DOA requesters can request to take ownership of a DOA from another organization of which they are not currently assigned to as a requester. These DOAs could have been created by CMS or another DOA requester. Ad hoc requests are approved by the EPI administrators. The first change contact process we will look at is taking ownership of a DOA from within your organization. Select Change Contact under Reassign DOAs in the left navigation menu. Select the Request a DOA from Same Organization radio button to take ownership of a DOA from within your organization, and then Next in the lower right corner of the screen. A pop-up message displays, requesting the reassignment of this DUA from another requester in your organization will make you the owner of the DUA and allow you full access to the DUA in EPI. You will see this message each time you use this type of change contact request. Select OK to close the pop-up. Your organization will be auto-populated unless you belong to multiple organizations. At that time, the option to choose will be presented in a drop-down. Enter the 5-digit DUA number in the DUA number field. And then select Next in the lower right corner of the screen. A message is displayed. A signature addendum or other document supporting your request is required to be uploaded. Enter a description of the file in the description field. For example, this addendum form is to change the requester to me. Select the Browse button above the description field. Select your file and then upload the file by selecting the Upload button in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. This will upload your file if it is of a valid format. Please note that file size cannot exceed 2 megabytes. Select the Browse button again to add any additional files. Verify that all uploaded files have been added to the Upload Documents table. Select the Next button in the lower right corner of the screen. Verify that the current requester and reassign requester information is correct on the Reassign DUA screen and select Submit in the lower right corner of the screen. A message is displayed. DUA reassignment request for DUA with the DUA number has been successfully submitted. For LDS DUAs, an email will be sent to the LDS DMT for approval. You will receive a follow-up notification when the request is either approved or denied. Next, let's review assigning a DUA to a different requester within the same organization. Select Assign a DUA to a different requester within the same organization radio button to give ownership of a DUA within the same organization, and then select the Next button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Again, your organization will be auto-populated, or you can pick from the drop-down if you belong to multiple organizations. Enter the 5-digit DUA number in the DUA number field. Then select a requester from the requester drop-down menu. This is the requester you are requesting to reassign this DUA to. You will only be able to select users that have registered with EIDM and have an approved EPI DUA requester role for that organization. Select Next in the lower right corner of the screen. Verify that the current requester and reassign requester information is correct on the Reassign DUA screen. Select Submit in the lower right corner of the screen. A message is displayed. DUA reassignment request for DUA with the DUA number has been successfully submitted. An email will be sent to the appropriate approver informing them that there is a pending change contact request. You will receive a follow-up notification when the request is either approved or denied. The last reassignment process we will review is the ad hoc request. Select Ad Hoc Request from Reassign DUAs in the left navigation menu. Select the organization that this DUA will be reassigned to from the Organization drop-down menu. Your organization will be auto-populated, or you can pick from the drop-down if you belong to multiple organizations. Enter the 5-digit DUA number in the DUA number field. Documentation, for example, a signature addendum. Please describe the file in the description field. For example, this company has acquired the former company and is taking ownership of their DUAs. Select the Upload button in the lower left corner of the screen. Select the Browse button again to add more files. Select Submit in the lower right corner of the screen when you're done adding files. A message is displayed. DUA reassignment request for DUA with the DUA number has been successfully submitted. An email will be sent to the EPI administrators informing them that there is a pending request and the DUA number. You will receive a follow-up notification when the EPI administrator either approves or denies the request. If you have any questions, please contact the EPI Help Desk at 844-EPI-DUA or 844-377-3382 or via email epi@cms.hhs.gov. They are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This concludes this training module.